Hi, welcome to Crime Clueless. We're your hosts. I'm Jenna.
And I'm Lara.
Today's episode is going to sound a little different, and that's on purpose. Instead of a full case this week, we wanted to take a minute to slow down, say hello, and wish you all a truly happy holiday season.
Whether you're listening while wrapping gifts, driving to see family, avoiding family, or just hiding in your car for a minute of peace, we're really glad you're here.
We know this time of year can feel joyful, heavy, complicated, or all three at once. And we're honestly just grateful that you choose to spend your time with us. Crime Clueless has grown so much this year, and that's entirely because of you, the listeners. When you share episodes, send messages, leave reviews, and care deeply about the cases that we cover.
Every listen, every DM, every I told my friend about this case, it matters more than you probably realize.
Especially because so many of the stories we tell don't always get the attention they deserve. You showing up means those stories and those people are never forgotten.
We also wanted to take a few minutes today to share some quick updates on a few cases we covered recently.
First, an update on the case of Patti Adkins, which many of you continue to reach out about. As of late 2025, Patti's case unfortunately still remains unsolved. There have been no arrests or recovery of her remains and no major public breakthroughs this year. But there has been an important development worth noting. In June of this year, the Union County Sheriff's Office announced that a full-time investigator from the Union County Prosecutor's Office has been officially assigned to Patti's case. That investigator is now working directly with the Sheriff's Office, conducting a comprehensive review of the entire case file and following up on any leads.
Sheriff Mike Justice has emphasized that this case is still active and that Patti has not been forgotten.
While authorities have been careful not to speculate publicly without concrete evidence, the assignment of a dedicated investigator does signal renewed attention and commitment to finding answers. Media coverage this year, as the case approached its 24-year mark, continues to note that foul play is suspected, that Patti was declared legally dead years ago, and that there has been no activity on her accounts since her disappearance in 2001. Central Ohio Crime Stoppers continues to offer a reward for information, and law enforcement is still urging anyone with knowledge, no matter how small it may seem, to come forward.
Patti deserves the truth and her family deserves answers.
Yes, and we'll continue to say her name and keep her story in the light.
This is one we are continuing to watch closely and will absolutely share more if anything changes.
We also wanted to share a brief update on the case of Brianna Maitland. As of December 2025, Brianna's case remains unsolved. There have been no arrests and no recovery, but there has been one notable development this year worth mentioning. In late 2025, new information surfaced from a private investigator who revealed a previously unreported witness account from the night Brianna disappeared. According to this account, the couple driving past the abandoned barn around midnight saw a tall, stocky man standing in front of Brianna's car headlights, followed by a silver or gray Honda Civic that appeared to speed up and then brake suddenly nearby.
It adds a new layer to what may have been happening at the scene that night, even if it doesn't come with immediate answers.
Authorities continue to treat Brianna's disappearance as suspected foul play. Earlier DNA evidence identified in 2022 did match a person of interest, but it hasn't led to anything in the case moving forward. This year also marked the 21-year anniversary of Brianna's disappearance. Her father, Bruce, has spoken publicly about the ongoing grief and the family's hope, even as answers feel farther away with time. The FBI reward now totals $40,000. It remains active, and Vermont State Police continue to encourage anyone with information to come forward.
Brianna hasn't been forgotten. We know so many of you have been asking about this one, and we're thankful you're keeping it on your radar.
We also wanted to share a brief update on the case of Greenberg. As of December 2025, Ellen's death is still officially ruled a suicide by the Philadelphia Medical Examiner's Office. There have been no criminal charges, arrests, or reopening of the case as a homicide investigation. 2025 did bring a few major developments.
In February, the Greenberg family reached a significant civil settlement with the city of Philadelphia.
As part of that settlement, the original autopsy pathologist signed a sworn statement saying that based on new information, he no longer believes Ellen's death should be classified as a suicide and that the matter should be listed as something else. The city also agreed to an independent reexamination of the case. In September, a 3-part docuseries brought renewed national attention to Ellen's case, highlighting inconsistencies, expert opinions, and the family's long fight for answers.
Then in October, the current chief medical examiner released a detailed report following that review.
That report identified additional stab wounds, 3, and bruises, 20 new bruises, but ultimately reaffirmed the ruling of suicide, calling the injuries unusual, but still possible to be self-inflicted. Ellen's family and their attorneys strongly dispute these conclusions and have said the review was flawed and predetermined. Since that report, there have been no further official changes. The family continues to advocate publicly, supported by a petition signed by more than 160,000 people.
Ellen's case remains one of the most debated and deeply troubling death investigations in recent history.
And we will continue to follow it closely.
And as always, if you know something or live in the area, please check the show notes for resources and ways to help.
We also wanted to share a brief update on the case of Robert Fisher. As of December 2025, Fisher does remain at large. There have been no confirmed sightings or recovery of remains and no arrests. The case still remains officially unsolved.
But there was one notable development this year tied to the original timeline.
In 2025, previously uncontacted witnesses came forward saying that they saw Mary Fisher's SUV parked outside the family's Scottsdale home at 3:30 a.m. and again at 5:30 a.m. on the morning of the explosion. If accurate, that could significantly narrow the window of time that Fisher may have had to flee, possibly reducing his head start to just a few hours. There was also renewed attention later this year with the release of a new documentary revisiting the case, though it didn't uncover any new evidence or so far lead to a resolution.
The FBI continues to list Fisher as wanted, and Scottsdale police still consider him a person of interest.
Theories about what happened to him persist, whether he died shortly after disappearing, possibly in the nearby wilderness, or managed to successfully assume a new identity, but none of those theories have been confirmed. Tips are still encouraged to the FBI or Scottsdale police, and until there are answers, this remains one of the most enduring and unsettling fugitive cases in the country. After walking through these updates, one thing really stands out. Time keeps moving forward, even when maybe the answers don't come.
And that's one of the hardest parts of covering cases like these. The headlines fade, investigations slow, but the families are still waiting and the questions are still there.
And that's why we wanted to pause here today, not just to share updates, but to acknowledge why we love doing this and why it matters that you keep listening.
Attention is powerful, and remembering these stories and these people is a form of care.
We'll be back next week with a brand new full episode, and we're really excited about what we have coming up in 2026.
There's so many stories we still want to tell and so many conversations we want to keep having with you.
Thank you for trusting us with your time, your attention, and your hearts. That's not something that we take lightly.
From our Crime Clueless family to yours, we hope your holidays bring you comfort, rest, and maybe a little peace.
Take care of yourself, take care of each other, and we'll talk to you very soon. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.